everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over some action figures from Captain America Civil War, Crossbones, Phasing Vision, War Machine, and Giant Man from Marvel Legends. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. What Crossbones lacks in a head sculpt, he makes up for with paint. I really love the paint on this thing. It's so well done. The insides on the eyes are really great. You can see how marred and scarred his face is underneath. That's super cool. I really like how it's sculpted though on the back. It has like a kind of locking mechanism that's pretty nice, and it's pretty smooth all the way around, but that face paint is really nice, as well as the sculpt as well. It goes back and forward this far, and then you get a little bit of pivot with some swivel all the way around if you want. The neck's exposed, but at least the head is helmeted. The body has an X in light white, kind of like streaks of white. We also have some magazines over here, as well as some ammo over here. We have these cool punchy things that Shocker took in Spider-Man Homecoming, so that's pretty cool to see. We do have a lot of things you can't really take off the figure, a lot of pouches and everything. On the back, we have this cool kind of like plate, really nicely done, as well as all the bits and bobs around his body. The little vest over here, tactical kind of thing on the side. It's really awesome to see. You do get an up and a down, and then all the way around, kind of. It's kind of hindered a little bit. There we go. You go up this far pretty well and down. You get a swivel at the wrist too, and a swivel up here as well. His hand kind of loosely grips this thing. I really don't want to take it off because it's part of the character. These are really cool for Crossbones. And the legs are your standard kind of camo with a lot of like almost biker like shin guards, as well as knee pads and toe guards as well, or at least foot guards. Pretty nicely done for that. On the back, it's nice. We also have a gun in a holster. Can't really take that out, which is a shame. You go out this far and down, up this far really nicely, and back pretty far. All the way back, going really well actually. The swivel up here, and a swivel not really down here. It's kind of a shame. I thought there was a swivel at least, and down and up, and then a pivot. Uchupe goes him on the feet. Crossbones, for a short screen time he had, makes up for it in sheer looks. This figure is awesome. And looks does this guy not have. His eye is melting off his face. It's really scarred and marred and incredibly horrible. It's very sad actually. One of the ears is great. The other ear is all messed up. He still has this kind of like 5 o'clock shadow going on, and the head sculpt as far as hair goes is really nicely done with that fade. It's really come far. A nice swivel over here and up and down, and a little bit of pivot for this sad, sorry head. And here's Crossbones with Scarlet Witch, who instigated the whole Civil War thing as well as killed him. And we have Captain America over here, who is his 2-pack mate, and I gotta say, what a great pair of figures, and one of the best 2-packs to date for a while. Crossbones stands at just about 6 inches tall next to Jesse Hecht Creative. Oh, how I wish I was as ugly as you. Phasing Vision is basically the other Vision I previously reviewed, except for this whole thing is translucent, so that's a pretty cool thing. I do think this looks really nice. I like how they take into account this piece and make it a little bit lighter, as opposed to darker or anything to fit the Phasing Vision thing. We saw the Mind Stone up there, as well as Vision's head in a very translucent pink. The eyes are painted on pretty well, and the head sculpt swivels and moves as you expect it to for Vision, phasing or not. The body still has that same epic texture from before. I think the gold is better, honestly. Looks a little more gold and less kind of like white in a way. It's pretty cool. Also, the torso has been fixed. There's better articulation as well. The crunch back and forth is really nice on this figure, as is all the other articulation. Same as the other Vision, basically, just translucent. Who knows how long this one will last, by the way. I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna die before the other Vision. That'd be kind of weird and interesting. And yes, this thing still pops up for some reason. I hope they eventually fix it in a Vision down the line somewhere. And the legs are your standard Vision legs. We have that gold that looks much nicer on here, and also the cape is really nice too. I think it's a little bit better in a way. I'm not sure if it's the same or not, but yeah, it's still pretty cool and looks nice at least. It's a little more translucent, I would think. The red pops out a little bit more. You do get some out this far and in. These are a little bit loosey-goosey. Up this far and back pretty okay, and then all the way back right over here and down. You get a swivel up there, no swivel down here, but it oddly doesn't really look like it's pegged in all the way, sadly. Going down and up and pivot. Chupe goes on the feet. Definitely a good Vision if you missed the other Vision, but I think the other Vision with Scarlet Witch was much better. Case in point, these are the only hands he comes with, while the other Vision came with fists. Here's Phasing Vision next to the battle damaged Captain America and Iron Man, looking pretty nice for scale at least. It is pretty cool that this figure exists, however the original one is still much better. And here is the Phasing Vision standing next to the other Vision, and I gotta say other Vision is just so much better, looking way great. I think it's just awesome. Yes, the gold is a little more pronounced on the newer one, the Phasing Vision, Articulation, but the old one has such more vibrant pinks, darker teals, and much brighter golds, looking way better than Phasing Vision, I would think, in this. And Phasing Vision stands at about, I would say, 6 inches tall, 6 1/4 or so, next to Jesse Hecht Creative. Oh, Viz, come on, stop crying. I know what you're going through, man. It's just a phase. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. War Machine has your prototypical Iron Man type head, but I gotta say this one really looks wise and kind of older in a way, a little more gruff. There are a lot of imperfections on the figure that I won't count against it because they really look great for this kind of hardened, battle-hardened face. It's really kind of wistful in a way. I love the eyes, the white and the red really clash well, and the helmet itself looks super awesome. You get a nice swivel at least over here, and an up and a down a little bit with a tiny bit of pivot for this cool War Machine head. The body is really beefy, and I like that after the previous War Machine. This guy's kind of grown up, grown older, and looks way cooler. I love these vents in the back. They're so nice with fidget spinners in case he gets bored, I guess. He has this cool star motif over here, as well as Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, but kind of not printed as well as the other figure. 003 over here, not sure what that means, and a lot of different little bits and bobs over here that make War Machine really cool, especially this arc light. It's really nicely done. Release arc reactor, LOL. You just swivel over here and back and forward, a little bit side to side, as well as up and down. The really great going up and down kind of thing. They're really nice over there, and up and down, back and forth. A ball up there. You just swivel over here. The double jointed elbow working out pretty nicely over here, as well as a swivel and then a hinge going in and out for this hand, and then the same for this hand. Also working out really great for this War Machine body. And the legs look really nice, the silver coming around it. It's actually really well sculpted and very nicely painted. Yeah, there's this on the side, but it kind of works because I think it just works for War Machine at least. All these other numbers on the body and insignias and stuff, why not this thing too? Whatever. Anyways, articulation is really nice on this. Going out this far, not really that great actually. Going up this far, just okay. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Going up this far and down with a swivel up there at least, and no swivel down here. Kind of a swivel over there a little bit with a pivot. It's kind of janky and weird. You won't really use it all that much, but it's almost like it's falling apart. That's kind of weird. It shifts up and down. It's really weird. You also get these two pieces at the bottom of the feet. I wish he came with some stuff that could facilitate jetpack stuff and jet boot stuff, but luckily he has a bunch of other things that don't really matter. He comes with a single gripping hand for force choking people. I mean holding accessories, but that'd be really cool. It kind of reminds me of Darth Vader now that I see him like this. This hand can hold this little accessory, and let's see what it does when I change it out. This little taser mabob is really cool. I love this piece. It's super neat. It's a little more color than War Machine would normally have, but I do love it. It adds a great pop. He also comes with this mounted shoulder cannon piece that's pretty neat. I like how it looks, but how it moves is kind of weird. It doesn't really swivel or anything. The barrel, it just swivels on the back a little bit and goes down and then up and kind of comes off a little bit too easily for my taste. Honestly, I could take it or leave it. It does look cool, but I really don't need it that much. In the same port that minigun goes into, he comes with this piece over here. Not sure what it is or what it does. Maybe it's a rocket launcher that shoots up, but I don't know. This port is empty. I'm not sure what goes in it, but yeah, it's just kind of weird, this figure. And lastly, there's some more armaments on his thighs. It looked pretty cool. They can peg into his thighs pretty well. There's also some more pegs on here. Let's see what they do. Those pegs fit into his forearms and are pretty cool. They also can sort of scissor out and sort of collapse a little bit. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I don't really use these that much. I haven't even touched them in a while. They are pretty neat. They work pretty okay, but honestly, I would have liked some more jet boosters or something. These accessories, while nice, don't really make the figure for me. I actually just figured out that the small baton can fit in here, so problem solved, I guess. And now that he's all kitted out, War Machine is a force to be reckoned with. Here's Civil War War Machine next to the Age of Ultron War Machine, as well as the Civil War Iron Man, and I gotta say that I think I like the Civil War version a little bit more. I wish it had that sleek black look that the Age of Ultron one did. Now, this is not the version that came in the recently released Civil War type anniversary wave, so maybe if I get that one, it will suit my needs better. But in the meantime, here is Civil War War Machine next to not Jesse Hecht Creative, but Disco Iron Man. This is where sort of me came from, a 2-pack featuring these two. So I'm very glad that Civil War War Machine was released so that I could be born. And Civil War War Machine stands at about 6 1/4 inches tall next to Jesse Hecht Creative. Oh, come on, I know you're from somewhere. I can't really place it. Let me think for a second. Come on, come on. I got it. Macrame. Giant Man is a special case of a figure. He is actually way bigger than the rest that we'll see soon, but I really love this figure. This is the old Build-A-Figure, not the new shiny re-release. I kind of like all the dirt and junk. It looks really nice. The visor is especially wonderful. The eyes underneath really look like he's very scared, very worried, or very excited they just turned really big. I like the blue over here. It looks very nice. A little bit of blue over there too. More blue on this side, and this kind of like puckering mouth thing, as well as the antenna, wing-like things on the sides. This Ant-Man head sculpt is really great. You get a swivel over here, as well as a hinge up and down a little bit, kind of, not really, and a little bit of pivot. It's fair articulation for a big character, at least, but I think the sculpt and paint really see it through. Taking a look at the body, the texturing is really nice, but I think the paint is kind of wearing thin a little bit in some places, kind of sad. I do like the sides, though. They look really nice, and these metal portions look really awesome. The fist is great. You get a good swivel out of that, and up and down, as well as going backwards in articulation, going up this far, pretty much okay, and down. The swivel over here, and up this far, and down, and all the way around for that. Same with this, except there's a holding hand for some reason. Not sure why it is a holding hand, but whatever, I guess. You can dangle characters above his head. I do like the blue over here on the top. It's very nicely done. As well as on the back, we have some nice gray stripes over here. Kind of a pack over here looking really nice. As well as this belt holding, I think, more pin particles. It's very nice. And we have some really good striations in the fabric. A lot of stretching, a lot of moving, a lot of fabric to keep this Ant-Man in check. But it looks really nice, I think. And as far as lifting characters goes with that hand, I think Spider-Man is the only one, if only because his ankles are smooth and small. The legs are super cool as well. I really love these red portions over here. They don't really match fully, but it's nice at least. The silver is really complementary, as is the gray portions around this part over here for his knee. We also have on the other side, looks nice, and more striations in the fabric, as well as on the bottom. It looks really nice too, going down to this shoe with a really elongated tongue on that. Pretty interesting. They clean it up, or the other release that I don't have, but I still like having this one. It looks really great. It's super awesome. I love all the stretching in the fabric. It's really well done. And he can do the splits this much, going out as well as up this far pretty well. Back, not really that well. Up, pretty okay, as well as down. Swiveling does break the sculpt, so keep it like this, I guess. Nothing for the bottom, and then you get down, and then up, and then a pivot with two peg holes upon the feet. Definitely a great Build-A-Figure. I love Giant Man. I love Ant-Man. He's super cool and looks awesome with a swivel as well as a back and forward. This is a really great Ant-Man, Giant Man, whatever man you don't want to beat. And here's Giant Man with some other figures from Civil War. We have War Machine, the Ant-Man from Ant-Man 1 at least, looking pretty nice. They don't really match that well as far as aesthetics or looks, but you can kind of fudge it and it works out pretty well. The Civil War Spider-Man that's still pretty awesome, as well as Phasing Vision, who is still not that awesome, but I do think they scale really well with this Giant Man. And here's Civil War Giant Man next to Civil War Captain America, Iron Man, and Crossbones, looking awesome here, and all really in scale. They look super nice together, and Giant Man stands at about the height of, I would say, 9 3/4 inches tall or so, also next to Jesse Hecht Creative. I have a little bunny rabbit, and his name is George, and I will pet him and pet him and pet him, and overall, quite the Civil War machine. Crossbones is an awesome action figure. I really love how detailed he is. The sculpt and paintwork are really well done, especially on that extra head. Very awesome. Phasing Vision is the consolation prize for those who didn't get the previous one. That one is so much better compared to this. It does look nice with the translucency, but it doesn't beat the original. War Machine is really awesome here. I've grown a better respect for the figure since I've reviewed him, and I really like all the extra bits and bobs. I've taken time to figure out what's what, and he's now better for it. And Giant Man is a really great figure, huge, intimidating, a lot of great articulation, as well as sculpt and really good weathered paint. I love a beat-up character rather than a shiny, cleaned one. That's why I got this one instead of the other one. If you're a fan of Marvel Legends or Marvel or Civil War, I highly recommend these figures. They're all really good. But make no mistake, if you're gonna have a war, let it be civil. So which Marvel Legends Civil War figure is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.